Everybody, and welcome back to another exciting installment of the Jaraci Cup. This one's going to be between AGameAnx and Descara. And for some reason, I erroneously said that AGame had won the last tournament. Descara did. Of course, that was the best of 7. He won that 4-2, so I don't know. I even put AGame as the lowest seed in the group stage when it should have been Descara, but fortunately in the group stage it's not a huge issue. The players can just remember that actually the seeds are flipped. But yeah, it looks like actually in this game they're going to pick in the wrong order, but again, it doesn't matter too much because it's the group stage, so it's going to be mirrored next time. My mistake. If it comes down to a tiebreaker, the seeds are important, so we'll just have to remember it for that. But AGame picks Galzi and Descara picks Saban, and AGame's going to grab the Boneyard for the map, and he is probably pretty happy with this spawn, going to keep his base runner, and this looks like ref mode first here. No, take it all back, he's going to get Skim Fab instead. So we're probably going to see the PC start moving pretty soon. If you're going to go for tech before eco, you kind of need to get something done with it. But he is going to keep his base runner, going to drop that scanner down and see what's up. Obviously, he knows this is going to get killed once it lands, but it'll give him some info anyway. I actually like to put it down on this position, since you know that the ALM is going to hit you over here, so you can get some vision and make your opponent come cleared out with an LAV, but either way, Descara has retired his base runner, and he's going for some LAV spam himself. And you can see he's actually got 6 on CUs here and no RU miners at the moment. Check the resources tab though, you can see he does have enough for that carry production upgrade, so that's probably why he's stuck on RUs for a bit. And AGame's base runner are going to come under fire immediately here. AGame does have Skimmer Fab, but not clear he's going to be able to save this guy. So, but I mean, that would actually be pretty big if he can. He does have the base runner heal, which always turns the fight pretty well, so we'll see. Even though he's not going to have the numbers, he might still be able to fight this. There's the heal. Yeah, it looks like Descara's just going to run away from it, going to respect that ability, so no danger of anything dying just yet. Yeah, Scanner did get killed, but AGame saw what he wanted to see, which is actually these LEVs out here, so he knows exactly what the play is. He just knows it's not an AAV rush, that's the important info to get. And it's going to be assault chips from AGame. Which makes sense, because, you know, a bunch of LAVs out on the field. But this play is always going to be a bit slow with the base runner being retained, so he's not exactly blisteringly fast, but just play a bit of a slower game and try and get up onto 2 base faster than his opponent. Although Descara is already building an SC, so it's going to be a bit tough. What you have to do as the Galzian player then is that you have the tech lead, so you need to push out across the map with it. Although he's fighting just before the AS pops, he's going to take a 1-for-0 trade here, which is not great. AS comes out now, but it's kind of a little bit late. 2 skims go down for nothing. Now here's the AS, but it doesn't have any armor up, so these LAVs actually might be able to kill it, although they'll take some losses in the process. Uh-oh, this isn't looking so good, but here comes Base Runner Heal. The ability's off cooldown already. That's actually huge. Oh boy, this AS is getting hurt, but just very, very slowly. Does go down in the end. Here comes another one. This is great for Descara. This is exactly what Descara wants, right? He's still not going to win this fight in the long run, but if he can just delay it, that's fine. Is he going to kill this last AS? Probably not. But you can see how much time he's bought, and Descara is up on 2 base already. He's getting the production upgrade now, which you reckon he'll probably be getting some kind of tech next. Actually does have 2 RU miners now. And so again, AGame needs to like push with this advantage now, because he has the tech lead, but his opponent bought so much time. Descara is probably going to be just fine. I imagine he techs AVs here, we'll have to see. Yep, it's going to be AV tech. That's kind of the normal thing to do here. Railgun tech is faster actually, but I still think AVs are just a little bit more flexible in this scenario. There might be air coming up anyway. It's nice to have missile batteries available close to the cruisers, so seems like a good call. And AGame gonna start backing out with the PC. He does have ref mode on the way. And I like what he's doing here too. He stop moves these guys so that he can get the AS just kind of all bunched up together. Actually not going to extract with this base runner. He wants to like bring him in the play so that he can have base runner heal available. And again, that's a big ability that can turn fights, so that could be pretty useful. Descara feeling a little bit threatened now. He's gonna get this LAV armor attacking. This AGame is here, so he's gonna have to fight this with LAVs for a bit. He does have AV Fed finishing just about now, but it's gonna take a moment to get out onto the field, of course. ALM's just kind of being annoying, but they're also targets here, so the assault chips are gonna start hitting them. Now, one thing you gotta be aware of, there's actually high ground behind the spawn on Boneyard, which is, you know, always nice. Yeah, both logistics modules get taken out, which is kind of a big deal. I mean, you know, you can't build units if you don't have logistics modules out. In fact, I believe Descara has none of them. Yeah, okay, that was weird. The game froze for a second there, but we're all good now. We're all good now. AV does pop. Carrier gonna claim a kill over here. And Descara gonna start repopulating his ALMs, but yeah, he took some damage there, so that's good for AGame. Has his second PC up, and he's jumping up onto 3 base now. Base runner might be a little worse for wear though. The LAVs did find it. And you might have heard the skims shooting out in the distance, but there was only one of them, so it wasn't a big deal. Yep, base runner goes down. AGame still has some good threat on the field with these assault chips. They actually killed 2 of these LAVs as well. So the question now is AGame gonna be, or sorry, is Descara gonna get up on 3 base pretty soon, or is AGame gonna be ahead there? I'd say the counter push worked. Maybe Descara should have gotten the AV tech before he got the carrier production upgrade. Ended up hurting him a bit. LAVs is gonna try and be annoying over here though. Oh my gosh, this is so annoying though, because now he's gonna lose another ALM. These things finally show up on the units lost tab, and if they didn't, this would actually look pretty even, because he's lost like 3 of them so far, I think, which is a lot of money. It's like 600 plus 210. Yeah, it's almost 1,000 CUs, you know. So I mean, that's a big deal. LAVs are being annoying over here. It looks like an assault chip has spawned to go deal with them. Getting wreck blocked right now, but it should be fine. Same story over here. Assault chips killing LAVs. Same old, same old. Armor 2 on the way for AGame, which will be nice to help fight these AVs. And he hopes to just kind of keep himself entrenched here. And this is one of the reasons you don't like to go railguns in this scenario, as the coalition player, is that, you know, AVs can jump over the dunes and fight the assault chips, but the railguns can't. And so, if what your opponent is trying to do is buy time, look, he's on 3 base, you're on 2, so he likes this. He wants the game state to stay where it is, stall out a little bit. Having railguns can actually be kind of bad for you, whereas AVs can be a lot more proactive that way. He does need armor 2 though, which he's going to start teching now. Descara's got the 2 support cruisers, so he's ready to like move up onto 3 base if he can push out these AVs, but it's a little easier said than done. He can make a little push now. Taking some fire though. Actually, the AVs, because they're like rotated the wrong way, they didn't start shooting until after like they had gotten hit quite a lot, so that's a bit unfortunate. He's got the numbers on this side now, but you can see AGame trying to push on the other flank. I'm paranoid, so I'm gonna run a test. It's not working. Ah, see, that's why I do this. Well, I might have missed when you said critical mistake there, but I imagine it was during the game. Looks like AGame gonna start extracting now. He does have quite a lot of skims now as well. AGame gonna use this freaking annoying high ground behind the main base. Something we didn't realize until like the last tournament. This is like terrible for the defending player. And now the action's kind of happen everywhere again. You can see these LAVs have found just the perfect window to get in here, or the skims that is. So this is very, very annoying for Descara. He's gonna lose another ALM as well. Yeah, he just GG's. It's like there ain't no coming back from this. And I agree, honestly. Like, this is just getting so annoying. It's like, the reason Descara is spreading himself thin like this is because he's got to. If he doesn't, you know, his opponent's on 3 base this whole time. So eventually you're just gonna fall too far behind, but... In fact, oh my gosh, there was actually air tech done. I didn't even notice this. Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. Could have even been rails, could have been anything, so... Well, there you go, AGame gonna take game 1 here. And we'll jump into game 2. Which is going to be in of Sawan Mirror. on Kartoba, of all places. You know, AGame and I played our Galzian mirror match on GT Alt, on Galzian territories. It seems very fitting. But this is practically Savon territories, man. Very good map for them. Now's as good a time as any to mention, by the way, DOK is on sale right now, like 90% off. So if you want to buy DOK, this is about the perfect time to do it. And get it while it's hot. I don't know when the YouTube video goes up if it'll be on sale or not still, but I hope so. But, you know, either way, I have been putting it in the description of those YouTube videos I'm uploading right now, so. This is going to be a base footer retire for AGame, by the way. Puts the probe out first. This build, I think, has become a little bit less popular with the changes to the base footer cost, because it gives you less resources when you retire it, but he's still going to go for it here. Anytime you have the Coalition mirror matchup, I think, like, LAV play is really difficult to pull off. It's a little bit different against Savon because they don't have the turret, but the ALMs can still be very annoying. So, I reckon we're going to see both players go eco here. That's kind of the usual thing to do. A little bit too hard to punish this faction at the beginning of the game. That's an SC queuing for both players. At like exactly the same time, practically. Actually, Descara is a little faster despite, Oh, I wish it was sponsored, man. I wish it was sponsored. But it is an endorsement. I pinged the roll. I should have told you, it's true. I said I was gonna eat celery after our games together, and I think that was maybe a bit too cryptic. Probe takes a bit of fire there, but he's gonna be just okay. It's celery in my eyes. In my defense, I did eat some celery before I started casting, so... I told my roommates it was a dietary supplement, because that's how I eat it. I just freaking like... Because, you know, I have like a diet of like ramen and peanut butter and jelly, you know? Anyway. And then I just like eat celery sticks. Probe goes down, by the way. Game 1 was the Boneyard game, where AGame just like murdered you with soul chips. Although it was a really good opener, so it was a bit surprising. Because AGame kind of fumbled with the soul chips at the beginning, but I think your tech was a bit late or something. Drunken macro, yeah. Ah, I see. That's probably why the tech was late, although AV tech not exactly the most expensive in the game, but you know. By the way, this time Descara is definitely doing the macro game. And we're in a game state where like his probe is alive and AGame's is not, so he can get away with this. AGame actually has a lot of RU miners here, which I don't like too much. I think he's gonna end up floating. You know, amazingly, Descara with his like CU focus is floating as well, but... Ah, but this is great. He's got fighter and gunship going, which is gonna obviously cost a lot of RUs. But he'll just kind of be up on 3 base faster. Base runner has popped at a very good timing to try and ward off this probe, but AV tech was already seen, so Descara knows what's up. And the probe survives too. Here's another one for AGame. Yeah, because you're always gonna end up spending a lot there. Is this the first production line upgrade? It is. They're gonna be off by like 10 seconds. Yeah, who cares? This is still pretty nice for Descara. He's up on 3 base, right? So, unless these AVs can get something big done, and he knows it too, by the way, because this probe sees everything, so... Unless the AVs can get something big done, this is actually really nice for Descara. Honestly, I actually wouldn't pick up this artifact here, because... What's going on over here? Anyway, I wouldn't pick up this artifact because... Yeah, look, he didn't. Because it makes the base runner a bit slower, a bit easier to catch with the AVs. And in fact, the base runner's slow in holding an artifact was increased during this this patch, so it's kind of a big deal, actually. Fighter and gunship tech finishes now, and with the Savon carrier doing Sunder, you can actually defend against the AVs fairly easily, I think. That being said, AVs have been absolutely murdering recently, so perhaps that's not true. But TJ gets deployed for Descara. AGame has one available too. He is Savon, of course. But I think he would rather just grab this artifact. A couple strike fighters on the way. It looks like Descara is going to get railgun tech so that he can have a bit more defense against the AVs. It's not really like that last game on Boneyard where you have all these hills to hide around and delay your opponent. This is a map that's really, really good for railguns. So, you know, he might have to use the strike fighters to defend against the AVs though, which is always a bit awkward. And in that case, there's actually a base runner around too, although if it drops down an anti-air turret post, you could always get TJ'd, which would be very awkward, so... Just gonna have the light anti-air, it looks like. Uh-oh, these salvagers didn't get the memo. They're actually gonna die here. Ooh. That's not good. And AGame just got an SC done, so he's gonna be up on 3 base in just a moment. In one jiffy. This AV has 12 HP. Very annoying. There's actually another strike fighter in the hangar too, but it's not getting deployed here just yet. ALMs aren't powered either, so there's not really any defense on this side. But, you know, 12 HP on this AV, I guess that's not really a big deal, because the LAVs can just clean it up later, so... Yeah, this is the AV I think you want to target, because it doesn't have any AA coverage for it. Although right now, the LAV should probably hit this guy who just got sundered. Either way, it looks like these AVs are gonna get cleaned up, the base runner being a little bit forgotten about too, but this is still fine for AGame, although he takes some losses. I think it's good because he's up on 3 base. So, yeah, we'll check the units lost tab though. Probably doesn't look great for AGame. It's actually not as bad as I expected, but it's still not good, obviously. But again, if you're getting salvager kills, that's actually a little bit deceptive. I think this is better for AGame than it looks. Gonna get missile batteries, it looks like. It's gonna be his answer to the air tech. And this strike fighter is out of ammo, but he's trying to stop the extraction anyway. I think with these LAVs in tow, it might actually be possible. We could see another TJ, although it's not got too much range. Oh, it's for vision. Ah, okay, that's actually very smart then. And he's playing the numbers perfectly. Look, he gets away with 26 health. Amazing. This railgun can't hit something 5 feet in front of him. Very nice, very nice. ALM's finally powered up again. Oh, and this is just the worst thing in the world. When you're in a TJ and you're getting shot by ALMs. Oh. Well, that guy's not long for this world. Looks like this extract is gonna get out though, so Descara not interested in potentially sacrificing some of his eco to stop that extract, which is probably a good idea. 8 HP on this ALM. That's kind of ridiculous. Missile batteries are known now. Descara will have to dock the strike fighters, probably. I even saw SCAA on the queue for AGame. It looks like he's gonna cancel that. And BC Fab, whoa, okay. You know, I've always thought it'd be fun if Saban BCs had to, like, have railgun tech in order to be built, because, you know, they've got all these railguns on them, but... Anyway. That's a very, very early BC tech. I like it, though. I like it. Just a little bit spicy, you know? A little bit spicy. If you've got field control, you've got time to do this kind of thing, right? I think that's the big difference. We've seen BCs built recently by players, not gonna say who, and it didn't work out very well. And I think the difference is all about who controls the field, because it's gonna take a long time to tech this, so you really wanna, you know, be able to buy that time with your field control, so. We'll see what's going on here, though. I think AGame might be losing a support cruiser. He is pushing over on this side, though, and he's killing ALMs so far, but the eco is being threatened too. Really nice TJ, though, and that's going to lock up these AVs for a while. This SC for AGame is so low, but it hasn't died just yet. That's, like, way off camera, but hopefully you can keep your eyes on that, too. It got away. Oh, jeez, that's terrible for Descara. But, you know, AGame's attack didn't really get too much done, either. He did kill, like, 2 ALMs, I think that's about it. The units lost tab is starting to look pretty bad here. Oh, there's a strike fighter. Oh! Oh. Depressing. I thought he was gonna keep it over here with the other SC. Oh my gosh, there's a bomber. Well, not gonna be a terribly impactful bomb, actually. But yeah, I thought he was gonna leave the SC with that other one and it would be fine. Ah, I see. Now it's a pretty impactful bomb. He had a second one. Very nice, very nice. Might lose a strike fighter for this? No, he gets away. Oh gosh, Descara still has not lost any of these air units. Man, that's ridiculous. It looks like he did, but this was because he did some production queue shenanigans, I think. Base runner here finally being noticed, by the way. He's been hiding in the corner all game, but luck's gotta run out eventually. Strike Fighter's taking a bit of fire from this missile battery too. These things keep putting out good damage on Descara's units, but they can't finish any of these kills. It's very annoying. Here come the BCs though. Now I will say, anytime you've got cruisers, you want to be thinking of bombers as like a really nice counter for it, and Descara already has the bombers out. So that does feel a little bit unfortunate for him. That's always scary when you see that, by the way, because you think the probe is tanking for like bombers or something, but no, not gonna be the case here. But yeah, like Descara's army looks really scary. And another problem is that he's got like total field vision here. Like, you know, AGame doesn't have any ability to control the field anymore. He does have the BCs out, but he doesn't really know about this flank over here, which he needs to be dealing with. Now he knows about it, but you know, BCs are slow, so yeah, like the CU cost of the army in the field, that would be pretty cool. Or CU and RU cost. Bomb's gonna land here. This is actually a little bit messy. He loses a bomber for it. Only kills the missile battery, but still, this flank here I think is the real relevant info. AGame is gonna have to just evacuate his main base, and the extraction threat is huge here as well. Oh, just being turbo annoying with these TJs. Main base still vacated. I reckon it will be for some time. Here comes the BC finally. Now the BC can fight the railguns, actually not stupendously well, but it can fight them better than AVs could. Has to use his smoke now, though. Okay, that's actually a really good timing. You like wait for the railguns to start warming up and then you turn it on. This AV not gonna be so lucky though. And Descara's still gonna get a triple extract out. He's really slowing himself down a lot inside that TJ, but I'm sure he'll figure that out in a moment. BC, uh-oh, in some actual danger here now. BCs take very little damage from strike fighters though. Ah, but the railgun does manage to finish the kill, so one BC goes down on that side. Looks like he'll be winning this flank over here, but well, actually he manages to push the rails out on that side, so not as bad as it could be, but still I think Descara is definitely in the driver's seat now, and he's getting BC tech of his own. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, for sure. But, you know, I guess I kind of feel like in Jaraci, this is one of these units that counters everything and gets countered by everything. You know what I mean? Just about how you're able to set up these fights. BCs without support will lose to railguns, but with support they make it like a really easy fight, actually. So, it's kind of interesting. They can never die to LAVs, but they can't maneuver around them. Stuff like that. It's a fun unit. These bombers are still being very threatening, by the way. They can actually just double tap this SC, I'm pretty sure, but he's gonna choose discretion as the better part of valor here. Looks like fighter and gunship tech for AGame now, actually. But he does still have 2 BCs on the field, which is good. Gives him some defense against these rails, but again, he doesn't have any like support for them, so it's actually quite difficult for them, I think, to it's quite difficult for them, I think, to fight the railguns on their own. They just have to use that smoke ability well, and they can trade well, but once the smoke runs out, they die, so that's the idea of like why they do so well when they've got railguns with them, is that you use the smoke and you just never die, and you're just doing damage for free. But when it's only BCs, I think it's a bit tougher, not unless you've got like 10 of them. Yeah, fighter and gunship tech probably a response to seeing the bombers and thinking he's got to have something more mobile to deal with him, but I don't know if that's gonna work. It'd be better if he spent the money on railguns, I think. Here comes the big climactic fight, though. You can see BCs do good damage, alright. TJs, though, the natural counter. The natural predator of the battlecruiser in the wild. Here comes the double bomber as well. Oh, gosh. Oh, Yeah. Yeah. Well, enough said. Ouch, man, that's really annoying. Just managed to get out of the TJ so he can use his smoke ability here. I feel like I'm losing my voice. It would be nice of Descara to delete these TJs so that he can get these railguns moving, but... Actually gonna start trying to stun it down with these ALMs too, this is so annoying. Don't tell me you never knew. Yeah, if you hit if you hit S, they go away. Well, you learn something new every day. You tell me you never knew that? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh jeez, bombers are still a threat, by the way. You saw how much damage they did in that last fight. Oh, actually, maybe they'll be tasked to go back, deal with this flank here, but I don't know. Yeah, but I agree that this isn't looking terribly good. Although right now Descara's feeding in a couple of railguns, but he's got BCs now, so that's not good. Yeah, I think that when BCs are used really well, that oh my gosh, the bomber just dropped it on that ALM. When BCs are used to their best, they just kind of never die. And AGame's BCs were dying, so that tells you whether or not he's winning the game. It's kind of like that in Homeworld Remastered too, actually, which is also on sale, 90% off. That's a good deal. Go buy Homeworld. It's a good game. Yeah, actually, Descara won by artifact extraction, by the way. But well, there you go. It's gonna be a 1-1, just like the other game in Group A so far. And we'll move on to another one just now. But it looks like we're on our way to a freaking 4-way tie, huh? Very nice, very nice. But I should mention in passing that favors Descara as the lowest seed, which I somehow messed up when I was seeding the tournament. But he should be the lower seed. He's not seed 2. He's seed 1. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let's move on to the next one.